The Gory Gaze.
This is my home, which I am leaving the comforts of for the weekend to explore the Blair Witch. I can see you.
I'm real excited about this. Thank you for
I'm
the
very
opportunity.
glad.
This area's been haunted by that old woman for years.
I don't know why you have to have every conversation on video.
Because we're making a documentary.
Not about us getting lost. We're making a documentary about a witch.
I don't.
Lost? Admit that first.
No, I know we're not lost.
They're all over the place.
So how do we know it was people?
Well, even if it wasn't, I'm not going to play with that either.
And it's all because of me that we're here now. Hungry and cold and hunted. Just want to apologize to Mike's mom and Josh's mom and my mom.
Tell me where you are, Josh!
Welcome back to the Gory Gaze, the horror podcast where two horror-loving boyfriends slash up and bleed out your favorite
Not so favorite.
horror movies. Hello, I'm Alex.
I'm Stanley.
Hi, Stanley. Welcome back.
Yay!
Finally,
I know.
we're back
I
again.
know. We had a little bit of a delay, guys.
Yeah, we're semi-live in New York right now time, but we're not recording with them. We're recording with LA time, so here we are. You will hear this today.
Yes.
You were listening to this podcast today as we are recording.
We are recording today. I think that's what I got out of that.
Yeah, we're recording today. They're going to listen to it today.
That's true. So today is Wednesday. This episode's going to come out on Wednesday. Lately, we've been coming out on Mondays out of that closet.
Yeah.
But it's just one small thing. What happened? It was our sink. And
Yeah.
It was both sinks, actually. The kitchen sink and the bathroom sink both went haywire. And this happened, I think, on Friday. And somehow this put us out of commission for the last 3 fucking days.
It was all Drano's fault because it's supposed to work.
And Drano doesn't work.
It doesn't fucking work.
No.
It worked in the bathroom sink, but
Yeah.
it doesn't work in the kitchen sink. And we were kitchen sinkless for 3 days.
And technically, you're not even supposed to use it on the bathroom sink, I found out.
It was living like third world.
Yeah, and it was just that little thing, everybody, that completely threw us off. We usually record on Saturdays, sometimes Sundays, and then release the episode on Mondays. But by
Yeah.
by Monday, we still hadn't done it, and we had no energy or desire to do
It's
it.
like the kitchen was growing gross.
Yeah.
And it's just living with us, and we're just like ordering pizza.
Yeah, the kitchen was getting depressed.
What can we do?
So
Oh my
were
gosh.
we. And like when it comes to the point where you almost have to start washing your dishes in either the bathroom sink or the
Fucking
bathtub,
tub.
like that's fucking hideous.
We have a big plastic tote, like a tub that we use, like for drinks or like when we go out, like camping or something. Well, basically that's what it's used for, but we use it as a hamper.
Oh,
when
I was
we're
going to say the laundry basket?
Yeah, when we're carrying it left and right, from upstairs to downstairs. And yeah, I suggested to Stanley, I was like, well, if worst comes to worst and you get really tired of that kitchen, you could just put that shit in the tub and take it to the bathroom and like wash it in the tub. But
then
yeah.
we ended up using that tub when we took the pipes apart from under the sink because we thought that we could fix it ourselves.
it should be easy.
It should be
You
easy.
sneak a motherfucker.
And technically,
Some snakes in this
we
plane.
did it. We did most of the work. But we finally had to call the maintenance guy who showed up rather quickly. And it's because you're friends with him.
Yeah.
I swear it's because you texted in person.
And it's funny because Stanley had told me it's the maintenance guy for the building, but I think plumbers do it, like they're supposed to like call the plumber and you're supposed to have like a work order, for them to enter the building and do some work in your actual apartment. It's something in my head, I'm like, the manager needs to be notified, like an email needs to be sent, somebody needs to read it, something needs to happen. So I'm telling Sally, no, I don't think that's how it works. Like I can't just text the maintenance man and like be like, hey, my plumbing sucks, can you come fix it? And sure enough, 3 days after, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to text him. And 5 minutes later, he's like, I'm sending the guy. He's like, I'm going to text this to my boss. I'll send the guy. And within like less than an hour, I think.
Yeah, he showed up with me, and yes, I was plunging the sink.
At the same time.
It was not my brightest moment, but I had disinfected the plunger first, and it's not like we ever have to use the fucking plunger
never do.
anyway, so moving on from that. But yeah, that's how this guy found me. But we had left the Drano in the kitchen sink overnight. Anyway, we're going to talk about this all day, so we just need to...
Honestly, it ruined us.
That's what traumatized us and kept us from podcasting.
Basically, don't live the horror that we lived these fucking past 3 days. Just clean the shit out of your sink.
Yeah,
no trash in the sink.
Just fucking don't.
Which I think were the little kibbles of food that we give to the dog that sometimes slip through the sink and then they just grew in there.
I mean, because you've seen what they look like when they get wet.
And we're still talking about it. Okay.
I know, God. Okay, so guys,
you monster.
Welcome to episode 30.
Oh my gosh. Happy 30th anniversary?
I know.
How do we say this?
I don't know.
No, what is it? It's a number. It's a number.
Try. 30.
No, it's
No?
like one of those 5, 10, 15s. What are those numbers?
25,
like
30. It's our tricentennial. That's wrong. That's wrong. Anyway,
never mind.
It's our 30th episode, you guys. Who would have thought we would have made it? Isn't it funny that it feels like the 100th episode? It feels like we've been doing this a very long time.
Oh, and guess who had a baby?
Who had a baby?
We did.
Oh my God.
An alcohol-free baby. We've been free, alcohol-free for 9 months.
We have. That is so true.
Which is so cool to like do this on our 30th episode.
I looked at you like you were about to tell me that someone was having a baby. I think I already said that my brother and his wifey are having a baby. That's awesome. Yes, we have not drank in 9 months.
That's amazing.
Fucking rad. I'm getting fatter and fatter by the second, though, because all I do is eat ice cream.
I lost a lot of fucking weight. Like, a lot. Like, I lost a second person.
Yeah, you and Sheriff are continuously losing weight because of the tapeworm you've ingested.
Yes.
And
so, we went to Mexico, and we had tapeworms, instilled.
Fucking terrific.
In us. And they're working just fabulous.
Can I borrow your tapeworm?
Not at all.
I hate you.
He's mine.
Okay, guys. So this is going to be a little bit of an unorthodox episode. And yes, I asked Alexa what unorthodox meant before I said it. So I know I'm using it. Right.
And I'm Mexican, so nobody get offended by my tapeworm.
I think we've moved on from the tapeworm. If you guys have any questions about the tapeworm, though, feel free to message Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll send you the info.
Oh, yeah, let's get that out of the way now. You can...
Fuck Ozempic.
I know. Oh, it's getting a lot of backlash right now. I know people who take Ozempic.
That shit's going to fucking come back times 3, and Kelly Clarkson's going to blow up, and everybody else that took it.
She is refusing to admit that she is on
Come
Ozempic.
on.
She looks great. I don't care.
Unless you stop drinking.
Wait, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Unorthodox.
The backlash.
So we are not going to... start this episode off like we normally do and do like all the info and stuff and then get into the plots because this is an audio commentary because this was chosen off of Lonnie's Lottery.
As our 30th episode, how exciting.
As our 30th episode. And it's fun because this, as everyone knows, this is our salty sequel month, a kind of impromptu theme that happened after The Rage Carry 2.
Yeah.
And the Blair Witch kind of fits into all of that because... if you guys don't know, the Blair Witch Project has 2 insane sequels, which we'll talk about once we start the movie. But I know in the past audio commentaries, we have done things differently. We've done the people under the stairs. We've done like the production history and all that stuff. But we are just going to press play and get into the movie. And as we're talking throughout the movie, we'll talk about all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because the Blair Witch Project, is a hard movie to give an audio commentary to, I think, because it's just 3 people yelling at each other in the woods for an hour and 20 minutes.
That's wonderful.
And also, this does not have subtitles. So it's going to be very interesting on our end. So we're going to be one earphone off, and the volume's going to be a little bit up. So you might actually be able to hear a little bit of it. I hope we don't get in trouble. Copyright type of shit. But I'm excited to talk about this movie because this movie is probably one of my top 15, 20 favorite horror movies of all time. And we'll talk about that. should we just get into it?
Yeah, and we don't see the witch, but she had me on a witch binge. I was watching The Wizard of Oz, fucking The Craft,
Oh
like
my
all
God,
these witch
you
movies.
did
I was
watch
like,
The
I'm on a
Wizard
wicked
of
binge.
Oz. Yes, bitch. And we did watch the sequels, and we watched a lot of stuff, but we'll talk about all that once we get into the movie. And you've already heard the trailer. The trailer played right after our new intro. What did you think of the new intro, Alex?
It's fucking amazing.
It's cool, right?
Yeah, happy 30th.
I'm gonna toot my own horn. I hate that saying. Okay, guys, so we are watching the DVD that I've had for fucking 100 years. It has the Curse of the Blair Witch documentary on it that originally aired on the Sci-Fi Channel way back when this movie came out. And it has a couple special features on it.
Yeah.
We're going to check them out right now.
The sounds coming out of the menu screen, what are they, the end of the movie?
What?
The sounds coming out of the menu screen?
I think so, yeah. It's just like the little theme song that they have.
It's at the end of the movie, right? Where they're just standing, staring at the wall.
I think so, yeah. Like when they're rolling the credits. So the special features are a couple of documentaries. There's some biographies. There's some notes on the movie. There is I already said the documentaries. And then there is some newly discovered footage, which from what I remember, and I haven't watched it recently, the special features, but I think those deleted scenes are literally them just talking to each other. It's nothing amazing. But yeah, so we're going to press play. This movie's pretty quick. It's only an hour and 21 minutes, I think. So yeah, go get a beer, go get your alcohol, because this could be a fun drinking game every time Heather screams. Every time Josh screams, every time someone fight. I mean, this is like an ultimate drinking game when it comes down to it. Like,
yeah.
We can think of some rules as we're going along, probably. But yeah, guys, we're gonna press play right now. I'm gonna count back from 3, actually. Okay, 3, 2, 1, play. So we are entering. I mean, the menu just exited. It's a little slow. Okay, we have the Artisan logo, guys. So, Alex, let's talk about the Blair Witch, man.
Let's talk about it.
Episode 30. Did you know that yesterday was Teen Witch's 35th anniversary?
What is going on?
Speaking of witches.
Wicked month. It's a wicked month.
The Blair Witch Project. God. I remember seeing this in theaters. I saw this opening day. Not even night. I went to the first showing with Ryan Coe. We'll talk about that in a second. In October of 94, 3 student filmmakers disappeared in the woods near Burkittsville, Maryland, while shooting a documentary. A year later, their footage was found. And that's the whole shtick. And then the rest of the movie is the 3 actors who are making said documentary. And Alex, do you want to tell us about the 3 who are in the movie?
The 3 actors, you mean?
Yeah.
Like, who's the 3?
Yeah.
Let's see. Who are the 3? Do I even have it? Oh, yeah. So wait. So what we have, who plays the 3 is Heather Donahue, Michael C. Williams, and Joshua Leonard.
There we go.
And these names are the real names of the actual character. Oh my gosh. The actors' real names are the character names.
Yeah.
I couldn't get that out.
They're playing themselves.
They're playing themselves is what's going on right now is all that shit that you were telling me that they're dealing with right now with the names being used.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff happening in the news. And I'll get back to what I was saying about my first time watching this in a minute. But right off the bat, Joshua Leonard started this campaign against Lionsgate, which is formerly Artisan, I'm pretty sure. And he has gotten a lot of support from fans and other actors in the industry, because he still acts. Joshua Leonard is a fixture in the horror community specifically. He was in The Town That Dreaded Sundown remake. He was in Madhouse. He's been in a bunch of fun stuff. And they are basically trying to get compensated for the use of their face and likeness and all of this stuff, because they haven't really seen a penny, or not even really, they haven't seen a penny since this movie was made. They got like a certain amount of money and they never profited from it afterward. And they had to sue to get their names back. They had to like fight in court to like get their names like owned back to them, which is fucking insane. Like, you never know the repercussions that are going to happen when you do this. And this was so long ago. This is 25 years ago. So things were much different. But Heather Donahue, for instance, like this really fucked her up. She tried to continue acting afterward, but it was very hard for her to get any roles. Mm-hmm. And she ended up relocating to a different place and growing weed. Like, she became a weed connoisseur.
Good for her.
And then they ended up paying her a sum of money to use her likeness and name again for the Blair Witch sequel that came out in 2016. But she was by then like kind of drinking a lot, and she said that she took that money and just went on a drinking binge, and now I guess she's sober. But she's also on this big campaign with Joshua Leonard trying to fight back against Lionsgate to get residuals, because they've been making bank off of the three of their names for however many years, you know?
Yeah.
It's insanity. So I hope they get their way, because that's a long time to be in one of the greatest horror movies ever made, in my opinion, and not be seeing any money for it.
Yeah, I mean, money is owed. I always felt like Heather reminded me so much of Shirley Manson from Garbage.
Oh, they do look a little alike, huh?
If you put like that burgundy lipstick on her and
I always
dye her hair really black.
The scene in the cemetery, like their documentary scenes that they shoot, I always thought were really cool. Like the cemetery in Burkittsville, formerly Blair.
Yeah.
I think she wrote these monologues.
They're so funny the way she takes them so serious.
And I never considered this when I was younger, but they're only college kids. Uh-huh. You know, like when I was younger, they
strangers, right?
They don't know each other.
Like,
I think Mike and Josh knew each other.
This guy's my favorite. Look at that smile.
Yeah, they're interviewing people throughout the town.
Yeah.
Did you know that some of these are actors and some of them are not actors? So the ones that are actors, the director and writer had told them like what they should say and like implications of like the Blair Witch legend, because newsflash, the Blair Witch is completely unreal. It's all made up.
Mm-hmm. We're at the part right now where they're interviewing the town people, asking them questions about the Blair Witch. Have they heard? The lady with the sunglasses, the woman that's holding the child. Yeah. The way that child reacts to the woman telling the story is so fucking incredible. Like, how did that even happen? Like, what exactly happened during that moment? You know, like that made that little girl react like that, because it's so good.
She's the best actress in the movie, the little girl. And I think her name's Ingrid.
This guy reminds me so much of my ex-father-in-law.
And they're telling... Oh, really?
He looks exactly like...
Oh, that's why.
And this looks like my mother, my godmother, Linda.
Oh, wow.
Like, I can show you pictures of her. Christina's mom, the one that made us the shirts for Gory Guys.
What up, Christina?
What's up, Christina?
No.
Look at her. Isn't that great?
I told you that's where I got my from. Iconic. They're about to tell the story about Rustin Parr. The legend that this movie has, like the mythology of the Blair Witch, is so fucking extensive and so scary. I was one of the people that when I first saw this, I thought it was real.
If somebody like new age kids and millennials and whatnot or younger, if they were to literally Google like, is the Blair Witch real? They would be so fucked up confused. Like, honestly, even me at my age, 42, proud of it. Whoop, whoop. I'll toot my own horn.
Yay.
Anyways, yeah, even me at 42, if I Google like the Blair Witch and something comes up like the Blair Witch is based on a true story, I'll be like, of course, this movie's fucking real. Nobody believes it. These people actually died.
And I'm one of those people who I have such a wild imagination that I just run with so much. So even when I found out that this wasn't the reality of things, I still kind of wanted to believe that it was, because there's so much happening in this movie that is real life.
It's in the back of your head. Tell me if it's not true that if no matter where you're at or where you're driving, if you're in the woods or you go to the woods, you're going to mention the Blair Witch. It's going to come out of your mouth.
I mean, Ryan Coe and I used to make our own versions of the Blair Witch on my fucking Quick View cam when we were 14. You know,
Yeah.
and that's going back to when I first saw this was with Ryan in the theater on opening day in July of '99.
You think it's the name?
The Blair Witch Project?
The Blair? Like
Blair Witch.
The Blair Witch.
I mean,
it's like,
you go in expecting to see a movie about a witch, you know, and this is allegedly the first found footage movie. It's not.
So let me ask you a question. I've never seen the movie The Witch. I've been wanting to watch it, but because we want to review it as well, I don't want to ruin it yet, and I don't want to watch it yet. But what's scarier? Because it's kind of like the Witch, the movie, they dumped everything else and just put the name The Witch just so you can be frightened already of the witch.
It's apples and oranges. They're two very different movies.
No Blair Witch. No.
Yeah, The Witch is like a folk
Who is
story.
this lady?
This is Mary Brown, I think her name is.
Is she's an actress?
Her character is actually an actress and like a ballet dancer and like a historian.
But she
and
looks
stuff.
very like familiar to like.
She looks like the witch herself. That's
From
probably
Oz.
the Blair Witch.
Oh,
yeah, she looks
probably
like she looks like Margaret Hamilton a little bit.
Anyway, sorry.
No,
what
that's
were we
okay.
saying?
But we should talk about her. She's one of the townspeople who apparently had an experience with the Blair Witch when she was a kid. And so Heather and Josh and Mike are there to interview her for her testimony. And she says that when she was young, she was hanging out by a creek and she saw like a hairy woman come out of the water. And that was basically it. But this woman,
she reminds me of Zelda. That's what she reminds me of.
Oh my fucking God.
I'm like, she reminds me of somebody, and it's fucking Zelda
She's
from.
super Zelda.
I don't want to say it again, but yeah.
No, wait, why?
Because I think I mention that shit every single time.
Oh no, that's okay.
But it's like, she looks exactly like that. Like
Everything goes back to Pet Sematary, dude.
Yes.
So they've completed their first day of interviews, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and now they're headed to the hotel. And this is where they say that they have enough battery power to fuel a third world country or something of the sort, because there's a lot of criticism on this movie saying like, how could their batteries have lasted so long? But that plot hole is getting out of the way. It's gotten out of, oh my God, it's cleared up very quickly is what I'm trying to say, because she says right here, plain and simple, they have enough battery power. Alexa, off. It'll never happen. It'll never happen. Something will always interrupt us.
Yeah. Josh is like my maybe most favorite out of all the three.
When I was younger and 13-year-old Stanley, I thought that Mike was so cute.
He still is. Like, there's something charming about his look.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like your next door neighbor boy that you'll never have. You know,
Yeah.
like, kind of. Like, he's
like-
just so cool that you don't want to even, like, mess things up.
Rednecky. Like, he reminds me of Chris Penn.
He looks like someone. See, like,
He
even
looks
with his hair, like,
Chris
down.
Penn from Tu Wong Fu as the cop, the racist
Oh, yeah.
cop.
You're right.
But when he was younger and hot.
Oh, the cop, the teacher from Never Been Kissed?
What?
Not that guy?
Oh no, he's also in the movie, but no,
Oh,
the
not
cop,
that
baby.
guy.
The cop is the bigger guy who sexually accosts
Oh
Patrick
my gosh,
Swayze.
you're so right. Yeah. What's his name? Sheriff, whatever.
Sheriff
Dullard.
Dullingham.
Dullard.
Yeah. It's a
It's a misprint.
Oh yeah.
It's a misprint. Sheriff Dullard.
So we get a character set up pretty quickly. Heather is very ambitious.
I think this was real.
She's the one in charge of the product. Oh, I'm sure it is too. And the project, I think I said product. And then Josh is the cameraman, and then Mike is the sound guy.
Yeah. I was talking about Heather's reaction to drinking the whiskey.
Oh, I'm sure. I think a lot of this stuff is basically real. You know,
Yeah,
like these
yeah.
three actors signed up for a project that was improvised for the most part. They were in the woods for 7 days. I think it was a local park in Maryland. And they basically were left notes scattered around wherever they were in the woods. And they would come across these notes, and they were given like their basic setup of the day as far as the story goes. And some characters were given notes on who they were mad at and what they needed to do to move the story along. And there are certain parts that we'll get to once it comes along where they thought that they might be in danger. They were withheld food. They were sleep deprived a lot because they were just getting scared all the time. Like, this must have been a pretty brutal experience as far as making a movie goes. And this is the 90s.
That sounds like that famous Coachella party they were going to throw one day at that island, and like they made everybody pay like tons of money, and
Oh
they
my
were
God.
staying in little tents and fed sandwiches to them and like
The
bottled
one
water.
that Ja Rule
Yeah,
was like
that
an
one,
investor
that
in.
one.
Oh fuck, there was a documentary on
There
that.
is a documentary, and I think right now they're at the point where they're like talking to those fishermen.
Yeah.
These guys are the Blair Witch, dude. Like, these guys are killers that escaped from New York, and they're hiding in this little town, because this one looks like a serial killer. This one is the driver.
I love the little short fat
Mobster.
guy.
Yeah.
It's funny. I just don't think they would be fishing together.
But that's the Blair Witch, because they're the ones that are haunting them at night.
He kind of looks like Zelda too, huh?
Everybody does.
He's like, you were drunk. That's bullshit.
Yeah. They're my favorite.
But the short fat guy is telling a story about Eileen Treacle, who was a little girl who had been drowned, I think, is the story. Fuck, I wish this had subtitles. It's so annoying.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, Robin Weaver is her name. She went missing in 1888, but she returned 3 days later, and then she was rambling about an old woman who was floating.
That's the Blair Witch.
See, when I first saw this, I thought that was the house that they end up at the end, and I was like, why? How did they pass it so quickly?
That little itty bitty.
Yeah, this was such a
Shed.
weird experience for me. I remember just being, I was in like the third row when I saw this. I saw it with, no, I didn't see it with Ryan Coe.
Oh.
I saw it with Crystal.
Lies.
I saw it with my sister.
Really?
I saw it with Ryan Coe the second time I saw it, because Ryan Coe and I must have not been speaking or something the first time, or something was wrong. I don't know. We were always fighting when we were younger.
And still. Oh.
Still to this day. Hey, Ryan. But my sister went with me, and yeah, we were both under the impression it was real. And I remember we were sitting in like the third row because my sister got nauseous. She ended up having to get up and leave for a few minutes.
because of camera movement?
Yeah, and I didn't
Motion
get affected
sickness.
by it. But I just remember it was a full theater, and everyone was just so quiet the whole time. And I remember being very affected by it because, again, I had never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
It was like, I felt like I was watching something I wasn't supposed to see.
Well, it's like the first of its kind almost, right?
Yeah, and that's what I was kind of getting at earlier, but it's also not. There was a movie called The Last Broadcast that came out a couple years before it, I think. Maybe just a year even. But that's on Shudder now, by the way. I added it to our list yesterday because I rented it when I was a kid after this came out because it was really hard to find. But I had found a copy, and then I couldn't get into it. But now I feel like, as an adult, everything hits differently.
Nice. Yeah, it really does. As an adult, like, it really does hit different. The director for this movie, after this, he did like a little more like other projects, but
I think he's done a lot of horror.
it's pretty cool that that this didn't kill him. And not that it would, because it's a fucking great movie, but it's such a weird direction. Like, it's almost like, why do you need a director?
This was lightning in a bottle, dude. Like, this is the prime example of just like striking gold, you know? And they just had something, and they had like the marketing gimmicks. They used the internet to its full advantage. Like, this is when the internet was at its like peak.
Like, Heather was so appropriately casted because she seems like that, you know, like that girl that has like that attitude that she will not step down. Like, even they asked her so many times to turn off the camera, put it down, and she's like, no. She's just standing her fucking ground. It's like, she's probably right. Like she's a mean director. Like,
she's ambitious, dude.
Yeah,
she wants to get this project done, and she's here to like get footage and like even on the first day, like she's going off trail.
Yeah,
you know, she's getting these people lost. Maybe not knowingly, but she's confident enough to know or to think that she knows where they're going. We just passed the part with Coffin Rock, and she gives this monologue about 5 men who were found brutally fucking murdered. And this was, I think, like 100 years ago or some shit, maybe 200 years ago.
no, it was
100 years ago.
Is there ever like a part in the movie where they enter like a portal to the Blair Witch? You know, to where like now they're possessed, like at this moment.
Not in this one, but I wanted to finish the Coffin Rock thing real quick. When these bodies were found, and they were like in a ritualistic fashion. Or they were, and then when the people who had found them left to go get help and come back, the bodies were gone.
Oh,
That's like another weird legend, and they think that the Blair Witch had something to do with it.
that's annoying when bodies disappear.
Yeah.
It's been annoying ever since that fucking Jennifer Love Hewitt's trunk and I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh my god. It's so silly when you look back on it now.
Yeah.
What were you saying? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
What?
The Blair Witch Portal. So
sorry.
This is maybe a good time to go into the salty sequels that came out. So in 2000, there was a sequel. So just over a year later, barely a year later, called Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. And that was directed by, who the fuck directed that? Joe Berlinger. And it had Erica Learson, who we talked about last week, and I showed you that picture of. And it was like a failure at the box office because it was like a real life movie. You know, it was. Yeah. It took that route instead. They knew that the Blair Witch was a movie, and it was about fans going to the remains of the Rustin Parr house because that stuff may or may not have been true, and they basically get possessed there. I think in that one. That to answer your question, yes, they kind of like are possessed by the Blair Witch, or
that happens the night that they all like party and drink and smoke, right?
Yeah, and then also
But where's that part here? You know,
it doesn't happen here
when they start going in circles. Like they're already in the Blair Witch world. You know, like when they start, like when they first like leave the campsite and then they like travel all day long and then they come back and they're like, no, how is this the same campsite that we just left? Like no, like they're already like in that portal, like that Blair Witch dimension. And
so, I guess you're right then, but we don't see it.
Like there's no escaping that circle now. They're in that dome of the Blair Witch.
We're just witnessing the hallucinatory, delusional downfall, I guess, you know? And maybe it's because it just begs the question, like, are they going in circles because they're hungry and they don't have the energy and they're going crazy? But also, it's only a couple of days. Yeah. You know, we're under the impression that this is only like 3 days. Like I know they filmed.
Yeah, it was only a weekend because he's like, I have to be at work tomorrow. I have to be at work. Like Joshua has to be at work.
But also,
so the last day would be Sunday.
Yeah, if they start on a Friday, they would end on a Sunday. But I think that they obviously go past Sunday.
That's so scary because don't you ever think of the adventures you did as a kid? Like, how stupid. Like, oh my gosh, we did this. Like, we're like, hey, you want to go pack up a car, pack up some fucking backpacks and go to the beach, go to the mountains, like go anywhere?
I mean, we usually would go places like Barton Park. Back before it was not crazy.
Oh yeah, that's
like you experienced shit. Do you really think so?
Barton Park? Hell yeah.
I was gonna say you experienced like the shit scary trailer.
Oh my gosh,
version.
no, I loved it.
25 years ago, Barton Park was legitimately fun and cool.
I think everybody's first experience is legitimate and fun and cool. Like I thought it was fucking amazing. Like it was so beautiful, and I want to go back. Like I would totally go back.
Maybe we just go back ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're lost. All three characters are lost now.
Mm-hmm. So this is where they're in the fucking dome.
Yeah, Mike is looking.
That's my version.
Mike is looking at the map,
which he has no idea how to read.
Yeah, he
admits to it being useless to him.
It's such a different time. Like it's so weird to think that we're in 2024 now. 1999 doesn't seem like that long ago, but it was 25 fucking years ago.
Technology-wise,
we had cell phones, but they were the size of a fucking football.
And you couldn't look at a map in it.
Yeah, and like
GPS.
No, you had like your handheld map, and you had books on how to survive. You couldn't Google anything.
I mean, even if you had a phone there,
I was just gonna
say, fucking matter because
wouldn't even matter. You wouldn't be able to get service.
She's so stupid.
She's annoying.
She's like, think of how cool the cemetery is, girl.
I mean, it's her character though.
Yeah,
you know, like I really think that. She's just trying to motivate these guys because she knows that they're probably getting over her really quickly.
Yeah.
And she just wants them to kind of get on board with her.
Yeah, like, it's just so, like, the movie's so, it feels just real. Like, this would actually happen between three strangers and the moment would get intense. And then it would be like... That's what
I mean.
Like, when she gets wet and then, like, they're all laughing at her, and she's like, "No, I'm not going to be the joke of the day." But she kind of like knows that it's like comedic relief. I find it
so fucking hysterical that you're going to be laughing at me for being uncomfortable for the rest of the day.
But she kind of gives that to them, which is relieving. You know, like comedically relieving to them.
I think the dynamic between the three of them is really fucking stellar. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that they
like. You think that they would know each other for years, right? But they're strangers.
And the location. I know that they filmed this in like a state park. And that probably explains like the circles and stuff that they go in, which make perfect sense as the actors. But I think it's a big state park, but it looks scary.
So not strangers, right? Heather and Joshua know each other, and Joshua knows Mike.
Yeah. So they 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon each other.
Oh, holy shit. Let me go grab my coffee. I'll be right back.
Oh, here, do you want some of mine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take some of yours. You don't need it anymore. Give me that.
I know. I'm on my
there's nothing in here.
8th cup. Drink it. They are coming across the...
That's the portal.
I think it's when he knocks over the rocks. That's when shit starts going haywire for them.
Oh, this is where the lady in the town was telling him the story about these rocks being piled up. That's what she's asking him.
But they didn't tell us. We didn't hear that.
We did, but we didn't pay attention because we didn't realize that she was telling us or foreshadowing what was going to come up.
Okay, well, there's 7 small cairns. This is the graveyard, right? This is the old graveyard, and those are for the 7 kids that Rustin Parr killed. So there's another legend that I was talking about earlier that I didn't really expand on. And Rustin Parr was an old hermit that lived in the middle of these woods that they're in right now, just wandering around in. And he murdered 7 children in the 40s because he said an old woman told him to do it. And the way that he murdered them is he would kidnap 2 at a time and have one face in the corner of the basement or the attic, according to one of the other sequels that we'll talk about. And then he'd kill the other one.
He would kill the one facing the corner.
He'd kill the other one while the other one faced the corner.
He'd kill the one, and then he would switch kids.
Which explains the ending of this movie. Because there have been people who are like, the ending's fucking stupid, and none of this movie makes any fucking sense. But if you listen to what these fucking people are saying, this movie is actually fucking mortifying, I think.
It's an ongoing circle because the last kid from the 7 never got to have nobody see him die. So then these come along now. These are the next folks, and there's 3 of them. So somebody's not going to get to see the other one die, and it's just going to be this ongoing circle.
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true either, though, because at the end of it, apparently Rustin Parr came into town after the 7th victim, and he said, "I'm finished." He said, "I'm done."
But it wasn't him to begin with.
It wasn't. He had been possessed, yeah.
Like she was using him as a what?
A conduit.
There you go.
Ooh. That's a famous shot right here. Her standing up.
So what movie poster do you like the most? The one with the red and the sticks, or her face?
I don't like the one with her face.
Okay. That face was comedic through for years after the Blair Witch. It was all over Mad TV, people making fun of it.
And see, that's another thing that I feel bad for her because she never saw a fucking dime for any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So she had been ridiculed for the last however many years. Mm-hmm. And by the time 2015 rolled around and they were making Blair Witch, the other sequel, the direct sequel to this one, it looks like she pissed her pants.
Uh-huh.
You see that? She had finally kind of settled into a different life. She's changed her name, by the way. We haven't even said that.
Oh,
she
you're
has
kidding.
changed her name to Ray Hance.
Ray Hance?
Yeah. This girl has, I think, really been put through the ringer because of this film. And I think Mike is like a fucking counselor or something on the East Coast.
Counseling people not to do free movies.
I need to be clear that they got paid. There's a
but not making money still. No. They got paid for the project for their time, but not making bank out of the fucking movie at all.
Yeah, this movie was bought for $1.1 million, and fuck, dude, unbelievable. We should say some numbers here. It was filmed for $200,000 to $750,000. So there's not an actual number on the budget. It's between $200,000 and $750,000.
That's super weird.
That's a big stretch. That's $500,000 stretch. So
that's what? 200,000 to 750,000.
Yeah, but regardless, it made $248.6 million.
It made a lot of money
worldwide. This
compared to the budget they had
at the time was the most successful independent film of all time. It surpassed Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
But it also inspired a slew of fucking movies. This created a genre. There's so many movies. There's Paranormal Activity. There is the Wreck series. There is so many fucking found footage horror movies, and a lot of them have this movie to thank, and a lot of them are not anywhere near as successful. And it's so funny because the last couple of days too, we have kind of like found the energy to do this, and then we're like, no, let's wait for the nighttime because this is probably a better movie to watch at night. And I don't know, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and I still get the heebie-jeebies. And it's just watching three people walk around in the woods wet and scared. But it's what you don't see, and it's what you hear, and it's just the tension that's building between the three of them. And even knowing what's going to happen at the end, like, it still fucks me up. And like every time they turn on her because she's not being honest with them about like where they are, and seeing their faces, it's like, oh fuck, like, who is going to get a break here? Like she says, we just did a map check, and it looks like we're still on trail. And then Josh is like, I never fucking said that.
So we named all of our casts, our characters, but we didn't name our Blair Witch. What's her name? Ellie Kedward.
Ellie Kedward, baby.
That would be our Blair Witch, our main star of the movie that we don't get to see at all.
Yeah, and Ellie Kedward was like a spinster or something, right?
She terrorized the town of Burkittsville.
And she didn't even, like, she was just like a woman who was like hanging out, and then she was dragged into the woods and tied to a tree and left to die because a girl went missing. And then the girl ended up coming back, though. They ended up finding the little girl, I think is how the legend goes, right?
Well, she like terrorized the town of Blair in Burkittsville. Blair. What?
Blair.
Yeah.
Blair
now Burkittsville. Yeah. In the 1700s, and she was executed for her crimes. But then a year after that, her death is when the children started disappearing from the town.
Yeah, because that was the curse that she put on the townspeople, because she didn't actually commit the crime that they had killed her for.
And now, as a return in that like happening, the town was abandoned.
Oh, is that what happened?
Uh-huh.
And then they like repopulated a new one and called it Burkittsville.
Burkittsville.
There we go. How fucking scary! I want to go to the cemetery, the one that they're at in the beginning, and then the one that they visit in Book of Shadows.
The beginning is like a really cool cemetery.
Really cool.
There's one in I would say near Chatsworth out there in the valley.
Oh, we should go.
You've never been?
I've been, but like I haven't been to like cemeteries.
It's pretty dope.
Out there.
It's really nice up there in like Valley Circle or something like that.
I love that. So they're camping again, and I think they've already heard. There was already one night where they heard things in the woods. They heard things in the distance. Which, fun fact, the directors would sneak up in the middle of the night and just like break sticks and then throw them in the woods. That was all that. And
but I feel like this is the part where the movie gets scary already, because the beginning is like you're kind of getting like tired of them just filming each other and where are they going, what's happening.
Well,
back when you were a kid, like when the first time you watched this movie, and then the morning when they wake up and they ask Joshua, so you heard things last night, and he is explaining that he heard the cackling.
We talked about this, yeah.
What's it called? Cackling and the what does he say?
In the cackling.
He said like cackling or something else, and that's
definite cackling.
Yeah, to me that's like when the movie like turns scary and you're like at the edge of your seat.
I don't think he actually heard a cackling. I think he was just trying to get a rise out of them.
I feel like it happened.
That part. I don't know, but like right here, this is definitely something happening.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go out of my tent like that though.
It. I always used to get so confused when the black and white camera would happen because it doesn't record the sound. It only records what's happening. I don't think there's like a sound attached to it because you can hear everything from like far away.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is the second night of waking up to hearing noises, and they're already late. They're really upset. The guys are mad at her because they're supposed to be gone already, and they're still there. So things are not going as planned.
No.
No.
She keeps saying that she knows where she's going.
And she fucking doesn't. She fucking don't.
Yeah, so right now it's their first night at the tent?
This is night 3, I think.
Night 3 now.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, this is night 3. We had this is night 2 in the tent. Because the first night was in the hotel. Do you want to tell us about some of the people under the stairs while we have some downtime?
Sure. We have all this downtime. Let me turn on my
it's
secret
just
note maker here.
Right now, there's just darkness on the screen. If you're still following us, which hopefully you are.
Okay, so yes, we had already talked about
It's 3 main stars.
3 main stars being it's a 2016 found footage supernatural horror
that's the
film.
sequel.
Oh, wait. No, it's not. Oh wait, yeah, sorry. That's because I was on the wrong page. There I am. What's it?
That's awesome.
Okay.
Oh, that's so scary. He's like, "What time is it?" And she's like, "It's 3." And he's like, "Fuck."
Hold on, why is it giving me this information?
They just want daylight.
We don't have info on... I want it on my phone, though, so I can...
Oh, okay.
They can wait.
Oh, we have time.
Everybody can wait.
Oh, they wake up the next morning and there's 3 piles of rocks outside their tent. So scary.
I can't.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So, directed by Daniel Myrick, Eduardo Sanchez, written by Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez, of course. Produced by Greg Hale, Robin Coe. Is it? Robin Coe?
Sure.
Okay, we'll just say that. Starring, we've already talked about them, Heather Donahue, Michael Williams, and Joshua Leonard.
Heather Donahue is now Ray Hance.
Cinematography by Neil Fredericks.
So that's something that we should point out. So it's the 3 of them, right? And they're obviously the ones holding the cameras, but apparently the Neil Fredericks guy kind of followed them around as well for the additional footage.
Yeah, I'm sure he was hanging on somebody's shoulder the entire time.
Is what I'm under the impression of. So wait, that must mean that there was 4 of them.
Like this stuff is probably him.
I don't know.
Just
or
like
maybe
scenes of,
maybe
like,
he shot
the
the interviews or something.
True.
We should see. Go ahead.
Well, I can't.
Oh, sorry. Hold on one second. I want to see.
Let me actually just find it here.
Filming. Oh, here we go. He provided a CP16 film camera. Because filming lasted 8 days. The 3 actors shot all the footage shown in the film, except for one interview about Rustin Parr's murders.
Yeah.
The found footage was shot with an H8 camcorder, and most of the film was shot in Seneca Creek State Park in Maryland, and a few scenes were filmed in the historic town of Burkittsville. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, so cinematography is really a lot of handheld.
Yeah, and it's just them.
Yeah.
It's just they're the only 3 in the woods. And I'm going to interrupt real quick. We've lost the map. Heather is looking for the map. She can't find it. Josh is pissed. Nobody's happy.
It's lost.
Yeah, and this is like day 4, I think. That sucks. I remember my sister in the theater being like, oh no. And again, dead ass quiet in the theater. It was so quiet.
Okay, and yes, the film was also edited by both the director and the writer, which is the names that we already gave, Eduardo and... What's his name? Daniel.
I didn't know that Artisan used to be Vestron Entertainment, or Vestron Video. That's fucking wild. Vestron is who did Teen Witch. Oh my god!
How funny.
I love that. They also did Dirty Dancing. Badass. I gave you back the map! Oh, how scary. So Daniel Myrick... Oh, it's not Daniel Myrick who has done more horror. I think it's Eduardo Sanchez. He's done a lot. He's done Lovely Molly. Lovely Molly is a pretty fucking good movie.
Cool.
Yeah, we should watch that. And he also did Exists, which is also pretty good. And, he directed an episode of Yellow Jackets. Fuck yeah.
The production company that released the Blair Witch, Haxan, or what is it? Hassan?
I think it's Haxan.
Haxan?
Yeah.
In Swedish, it means the witch.
Of course. You know what's funny is there is an old movie from like the 20s called, or maybe it's even earlier, called Haxan, and it's about witches.
Oh, we should watch that. Haxan. When Josh was laying on the ground.
I know you don't like that
He just throws himself on the ground. Like, there could be like snakes fucking amphibians, bears.
And that's always one of my favorite lines when she says, it's very hard to get lost in America and stay lost.
Yeah. And that was back in 99 when she said that shit. Now it's even like harder to get lost and stay lost. And being trapped.
We should talk about the marketing for this movie because they used mostly the internet. The website's defunct now, but it was BlairWitch.com and America Online. You know, you just go to www.blairwitch.com and they had mythology on the witch. They had missing
That's still active.
posters. It's not there. Remember, we tried to look for it the other day.
Oh, yeah.
But this is what the missing poster looked like.
Yeah.
And we were really given the idea that these three
It was real.
kids disappeared. And we were watching the footage of their last days. So this was kind of stressful. Being 13 and because I had just turned 13, I was very impressionable. Oh, this is the wet shoe part. They keep finding themselves in situations where they have to cross streams.
Yeah. Well,
And
it's the
now-
same one, right?
Yeah, not yet. Maybe it is. Maybe they just don't realize. We're gonna chill out.
When Mike loses it, dude, it's like he's one of those guys that you just can't bring down anymore. Like after he just fucking goes up anger alley.
So a few minutes ago, Alex had mentioned Blair Witch 2016, and that is the direct sequel that was originally being advertised as a completely different film, and then they dropped it at like some con that it was actually a Blair Witch sequel, and everyone lost it. And it was directed by Adam Wingard, who is well known within the horror community, and it is a lesser film, I would say, but it's also got some merit. I think that there were a few creepy parts, but it's just lost the charm. The first one just did it so much better. And even Book of Shadows, I thought, had a little bit more of original thought to it and better layers to it than Blair Witch. But I think after watching all of them, they're all really watchable.
No.
Oh, he just admitted that he kicked the map into the creek.
This is the best. I like when Heather loses it right here. This is her acting.
They fucking attack each other. Oh my god, yeah, now they're beating each other up because Mike has betrayed them.
I like when she
my
tells him
gosh.
that it might have not meant shit to you, but it did to me.
Well, which is ironic because they're all lost.
Yeah.
So it might have meant something to her, but
Well, even if they really deeply got lost, then she would know how to activate that map, but she didn't. She thought she didn't need it. You know, she just like kept on marching on, thinking like, I know where to go, being all cocky.
it's fucking silly. So they're gonna fight for the next few minutes about the map.
The tension between them is so.
Do you want to say some numbers real quick?
Didn't we already?
No.
I thought we did.
No.
Oh, those numbers.
Yeah.
I thought like budget and shit. Okay, so yeah, numbers. Rotten Tomatoes gives the film a score of 86% based out of 165. And
Oh,
what
that's
do we
the
have?
critic reviews.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
165 reviews, yeah, from
Yeah.
critics. And then Metacritic, the film received 80 out of 100. And for Cinema Score, we have a C out of A and B out of an A and F chart.
Oh, a C plus, yeah.
An A through F chart.
Yeah, but this is one of the movies that Roger Ebert really loved. He gave it 4 out of 4 stars, called it an extraordinarily effective horror movie. Peter Travers called it a groundbreaker in fright that reinvents scary for the new millennium. This received a lot of really good reviews, but also some pretty bad ones as well. Understandably so. It's not for everybody. Like, you really have to invest yourself in the journey of 3 strangers and a make-believe scenario when it comes down to it. You know what would also go well with, I think, is Yellow Brick Road.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
But no, we watched it.
Did we?
About the people who go camping and they're looking for, or not camping, well, they end up camping, but they're going to look for that town that disappeared, and they're all in the woods, and then they're hearing that music, and the guy finds the hat.
Oh, that's right. I do remember. I looked it up right now.
I think I've said too much. For everybody who hasn't seen Yellow Brick Road, I've recommended it to a few people, and everybody I've recommended it to fucking hates it. Watch it. I think it is so fucking eerie. And it reminds me a lot of these movies. It has some of these aspects to it, I think. They have found the stick figures.
Those are dope. Whoever created that shit, you're a witch.
I just wonder what it came from. Like,
Yeah.
What is the symbol for? Does anybody even know? This is a part of the marketing as well. This was a big part of the trailer. The trailer that you heard at the beginning of the episode was a redone trailer. The original trailer that came out back when we were young was her monologue near the end of the movie, apologizing to everyone's family and stuff. And then they released a couple other short trailers once the movie was released, and this was a big selling point of it, was these stick figures. Do you remember the way you felt the first time you watched it? Where were you the first time you saw this movie? Tell me.
Watching
Tell
with
us.
a group of friends.
Okay. Do you remember
We're
who?
all sitting around. Yeah, of course I remember who.
Who? Tell us.
My friend Maria, my friend Freddie, my ex-husband Edward, my friend Daisy, my friend. Well, I shouldn't say that other name, but yeah, we were all there
Why shouldn't you say the other name?
because it's just X's and hoes.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. Besides the point, yeah, we were all sitting around watching this movie and getting freaked out and never wanting to go camping again.
Yeah.
But no, I do remember this movie, and it was super, like, really cool to watch this and be in the moment.
That part where Josh cries.
Yeah.
Mike is screaming, "Help us," and there's a part where Josh is to the right of the camera, and he just, like, bends his head down, and you can see his face crumble, and he just starts to cry, and he veers off. Because we're lost, guys, if you didn't remember, and we're camping again. How did you feel the first time you watched this?
Pretty scared, like, disgusted, actually.
It's a scary fucking movie.
Uh-huh. And the fact that we never see the witch is like,
Yeah, spoiler.
we'll never know what it
Never
was.
see
Just
the witch.
supernatural.
And that's the thing, is it? Like, I think that it is. And this is the scariest part of the movie to me, is when they're woken up in the middle of the night to children laughing, babies crying,
Mm-hmm.
and essentially the
Because
tent starts to
the
shake.
witch doesn't exist in live form. You're never going to see a witch. What she does is just possess people into killing themselves the way she used to kill the kids. Like, that's why and it's not that she used to kill the kids, because all she did was terrorize the town, and then the town killed her for her, like.
But again, I don't think she terrorized the town first. She was killed wrongly. So that's why she's terrorizing the town now, because she was killed wrongly, as most witches are.
Well,
Right?
no, because a year after is when the kids started disappearing.
And that's when she was getting her revenge.
Yeah, but not in life form. Like, there's no form of the witch. She used the man that she possessed to kill the kids.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So she doesn't exist. She's just like this supernatural force that just floats around and possesses people that are nearby her fucking house.
This is so scary.
Because it's either that, or I was trying to find out in the beginning of the movie, like, the invitation. You know how there's always an invitation, like, we invite you to come record, or like, come look for the Blair Witch. Like, why? What possessed her to want to go do this documentary and be so like, I want to do this. This needs to be done.
Well,
It
she's
needs
a
to
film
happen.
student, and she probably just... Oh, you're
A
right, I don't know.
documentarian.
Yeah, she just wanted to make a documentary, and this is probably a local legend that was worth exploring. And what's
She wanted her
interesting...
big break.
Yeah, of course. And what I think that these kids also thought the Blair Witch legend was true when they were making this movie.
Well, it's supposed to be, right? Like,
Yeah.
in the movie, it's supposed to be real.
Yeah,
the
so
legend.
I think that they were under the impression that all of this was happening to a degree. I think, I mean, they knew they were making a movie, of course, but I think a lot of their reactions are genuine.
Yeah.
The part where Heather is screaming, "What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?" And she shines her light.
Is that the cracking of the wood?
Well, there was a person to the left covered in white that we don't see, but there was someone standing there, and that was supposedly supposed to be the form of the Blair Witch. So we were supposed to see the Blair Witch, but whoever was running behind Heather, either Mike or Josh, didn't pan the camera that way while he was running, so they missed the shot.
Oh.
Do you think that makes it scary or less scary?
Less. That would have made it less scary.
Showing that?
Yeah, I don't
think so too.
I don't want to. I don't. The thing is that I'm fucking scared because I don't know what she looks like. So being a supernatural force is like she could be anywhere. She could be anything. You can be fucking possessed right now. Like,
I completely agree. I always love this shot because it's like, where are we? Like, we're suddenly like in a brushy meadow, and it looks like Halloween.
And how did you run into this?
They just ran blindly into the night.
You know, like, but it looked like an open field when they were running at night, and now it looks like all hilly and overgrown, like with grass, and like there's like these little mounds everywhere.
I read on IMDb trivia that there's parts in this movie where you can see like the road nearby, and where you can see like a meadow like nearby. So it's like continual like goofy errors like that. But I never can tell, and I'm not like pausing to see because I don't fucking care.
So this is a part where they were like inside of the tent, and then the little children started like giggling and laughing and started like hitting at the tent, and they ran out of the tent into this open field, and they come back to the tent in the morning, and all of Josh's stuff is destroyed. His water's poured out of his jug, and it's like this slimy substance. It's disgusting, and
Poltergeist goo.
Only his stuff got ruined.
Yeah, everybody else's stuff is fine.
But why him?
But see, one of them had taken one of those stick figures. Did you see that? And it was broken as well. So I don't remember if it was Heather or who. Ooh, Mike just attacked Heather, and she bit him.
Well, that happens in part 2 too. Not to ruin it, but somebody takes the sticks and then they get it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they ruined that in the fucking trailer.
Oh no way!
God damn. Yeah. Fuck, man. They fucking fucked you in the trailer for that one. Blair Witch 2016 is fun. It is fun. It's just that some of the acting is a little bad.
Yeah. My phone doesn't want to skip out of it. I looked it up just to find the fucking picture or like or little info on it, and I can't skip out of it no more. It says giving me that for Blair Witch. That's why I was like reading the 2016. And I was like 2016.
Yeah, I just love the idea of them maybe being able to find Heather all these years later. Because that's the plot of Blair Witch 2016, is that the brother of Heather Donahue has been sent a clip of new footage found inside the old Rustin Parr house, and they think that it could be Heather. And so him and his friends decide to go out in the woods, and one of his friends is also making a documentary.
But Mike would be the only survivor.
None of them were ever seen again.
But we saw Heather go down, so she was obviously killed while he was facing the corner, and then he was going to be the next one killed, but there was nobody to watch him be killed. So that's why part 2 comes in now, because now we need a person to watch him die, and then somebody else watch that person die, and then somebody else, and then that continuous circle of just you face the corner while this one dies, you face the corner while this one dies, will continue forever.
I feel like Mike was killed.
You never saw him get killed.
I feel like he was killed.
You never saw him get killed.
Then
she
where
comes
is he?
downstairs, she sees him in the corner, and then she gets knocked out, and the camera goes down.
So why don't we hear Mike getting killed in the background during the
because he doesn't
2
get
minutes
killed
after that?
There's nobody to watch him die, so the Blair Witch doesn't want to kill him.
Is he just stuck in the Blair Witch portal?
Because remember that her pattern is to face one to the corner and kill one while the other one faces the corner. If he's facing the corner and he's the last one and there's nobody to watch him die, then he's not going to die because there's nobody to... That pattern can continue.
Where did this pattern come from? Because
I have no idea. It's what she did to the guy that she possessed a year after.
I know, but he went into town afterward and said that he was done after the 7th person was killed. The 7th one wasn't left alive.
But he was done, but she wasn't. So then they come along and now she's using them.
Huh.
So anybody that comes near here now, she's just going to use them for that ongoing circle of, this is my pattern of killing.
Okay.
In theory, my theory. I don't want to fucking set this shit in stone and be like, you're wrong.
No, I'm just thinking about it because I've never thought about it like that before.
That's why that's why I'm saying, like, she doesn't exist. She's just a supernatural power that possesses the person that comes next to be in the corner, and the next person dies, and then again and again and again and again and again, because the pattern doesn't change. It's the same pattern even with the grown adults. It doesn't mean that she only did that with the kids, because even these guys as adults get the same pattern. You face the corner while this one dies.
And so I wonder if it was Josh who got possessed and then killed Heather and then killed Mike, and then Josh is the one running around.
Well, that breaks the pattern. There's just no pattern after that.
I hate it.
Because Josh, then that's just Josh just killing randomly now. Like, there's no pattern. The scary part is the pattern.
Okay.
Or that you're gonna stay alive. They're facing the corner until the next person comes.
It's like a video game. And
then you're next. So the fact that she actually jumped Mike and killed Heather without putting Mike, to kill first and putting Heather in the corner. That's my second question is, like, why did she fuck up her own pattern and go straight for Heather and still let Mike be in the corner?
Okay, I don't know.
She gets knocked out. Josh's stuff gets ruined, and Mike is just losing it. He's the one that lost the map. He's the one that, got them lost. And he's the cynical guy that just keeps laughing. Mike is the killer.
So we're about 30 minutes away from all that. They've come to the tree for the second time now. And now everyone's mad at Heather again.
Yeah. Well, if I say something, I'm just going to go back to Mike being alive. This is because Heather's all quiet now. She's like, somebody say something?
Well, Mike is still alive right here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah. No, it's not until they get to the house at the end of the movie that I'm talking about.
Okay. Oh, I like this part where he torments her. Because they've been walking for like a whole day, and they end up in this big circle, and fuck you.
Where did they pick up Mike from? Burkittsville?
They drove to Burkittsville.
Okay.
I'm not sure where they...
Putting things together, because Mike knows something.
Oh, God.
I'm not going to get off that bus.
Oh, no, he's not.
I need a prequel, and I need to know about Mike's family's history.
He was a furniture salesman before this, if that's any help.
What kind of wood was he selling? What kind of wood was he selling? Did he make people stick people out of the wood?
You guys, if anybody...
I've fallen into the Blair Witch circle. I can't get out.
With Alex's theory about this movie. Because, I thought about it as well. And what if they're just being tormented by somebody in the woods who's crazy? Like a crazy
I told you, it's those
person.
fishermen guy that escaped from New York that are
Girl,
in this town of Burkittsville.
You just said it was Mike.
Well, that's my other theory.
Okay, so how many theories we got?
We got two.
Oh, now
if one doesn't work, then the other one does. There's an A and a B. But my first theory was that it's those two fishermen after these guys were like, hey, we're looking for the Blair Witch. Can you give us some info? And they're like, oh, these guys are going to go to the woods. Let's go fuck with them. So...
I could get behind that more than
now they're like
theory for sure.
In this tent, and they're like banging at their tent at night and cracking sticks, because it's like, why are these footsteps being heard? And we never really see footsteps in the morning, or deer, or anything. And it's like, why are they breaking wood just to make those people figures? Those little stick figures?
Those have already been there, baby.
So then what are the footsteps?
The footsteps are just... We don't know if they're
loud.
Footsteps. They just sound like footsteps.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know what they are.
We don't know what it sounds like. A fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex is approaching and breaking every single stick on his way.
I love the movie you're watching.
Come into my tent. We can watch it together.
I know. Let me in. I'm obsessed.
I'm obsessed with her beanie. I need that gray beanie. You need one too.
I do too.
Yeah.
We have a couple beanies.
But not that gray one.
Do you like camping?
Yeah, I fucking love camping. That's
we had
a thrill
fun
to me.
camping.
I love camping.
There was a lot of weird shit that happened. But
I
we
love
had a good
hosting during
time.
camping. Like, I like being the one that cooks and that sets the fire and puts the fucking chairs along the, like around the fucking fire. Like,
What was
I
that
love doing that
dice
shit.
game that we played? Do you remember?
T-
And my sister
LCR?
was getting so mean to everybody.
Left, center, right?
I don't fucking know what it was called. I'm asking you. No, that was the dollar game that we played with.
I forgot, but she gave us
Matt and
those
Jacob and all
dice.
No, was that called Left, Center, Right? The money game?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right?
We have those dice that Crystal gave
Yeah,
us that
yeah.
we played every fucking day.
I think
that
it
we were
was left,
camping.
center, right.
I have no clue. Anyway, I like camping too. But this movie put a damper in my camping enjoyment for a moment. Oh, God. This is...
What is she sewing?
She's sewing someone's pants, I think.
Oh.
Heather has a book in her bag of how to survive in the woods that she never opens once, by the way.
I feel like her dad was probably a Marine or like in the army. Like, she knows a lot of survival shit.
I just said she has a book.
Oh. That's what
But she
that's what
never
got in my
opens
head to
it.
say that. But
She never opens the fucking book.
Ew.
Oh, so they wake up this next morning and Josh is gone.
This is the scariest, dude. If I woke up and somebody was gone, I would be like, fuck them. I'm so angry at them. Why did they leave?
Well, especially after everything that's happening.
Yeah.
Like,
And why did it gotta be Josh? Why can't it be Mike?
No, we love Mike.
Oh, fuck Mike. He's a whiny little baby, man. Get him out of here.
Well, girl, they're all whiny little babies right now. They're losing
But
their
Josh at
minds.
least kept it cool. Like, he was like very calm and like
Josh
very like,
was
Heather, don't fucking piss me
smoking
off right now,
J's.
Heather. I'm gonna fuck you up, Heather, but with a smile.
He was microdosing in the
Yeah, he was.
tent.
Relax.
I just realized that they're all sharing one tent.
Yeah. Absolutely. I wouldn't sleep in my own tent. Fuck that.
It always bugged me how dirty her nails were right here.
They're not gonna be fucking pristine, bro.
I know.
Except the white. The French tip is really white, so they could be worse. Well, French tip. Look at that.
That's funny.
Like, I touch boxes at work, and I'm like fucking.
I like.
I
your
look
nails.
under weather pass or under pass weathered.
Hey, I forgot to mention to you that
Tell me.
that Mickey Mouse movie, that Steamboat Willie movie,
Oh, yeah.
got a release date or a release year. It's coming out in 2025.
I thought the show was already out.
2025. No,
Oh, I thought everybody already watched it.
no,
Still against it.
no. I think I'm right. I don't know if I just made that up or not.
I'm pretty sure that was already out.
Oh, should we talk about some movies that we watched recently?
No. Let's talk about the Blair Witch. Or the Blair Hawkson.
The Blair Hawks. Well, I want to mention Mute Witness real quick.
Okay, yeah,
because
absolutely. Go
that
ahead.
was so fucking good.
Mute Witness. Now, I walked into half of this movie. You were into it. I'm not sure how far you were into it.
I was
but,
like 15 minutes in.
What I watched was pretty fucking creative.
I just had never seen anything like it. I mean, I guess I have. It was like a Hitchcock meets De Palma meets Argento.
The Little Mermaid.
You're so funny. But it was good. I remember passing that VHS cover in the Blockbuster video stores all the time when I was a kid, and I just never picked it up. I was telling you this last night.
I feel like the video cover was her face like scared and like with her arms like.
No, it was her face and then her mouth sewn shut with the title.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Because-
oh, I did see the title. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
same
plot
poster,
is
right?
about a special effects artist working on a movie in like Russia, and she has to go back onto the set to go get something. And
You guys hear this plot?
And she's locked inside, and she ends up witnessing a snuff film get made, and she's the only witness, but she can't talk. And I'll just leave it at that. It was intense. It
Yeah.
was super intense.
Really fucking cool. What a great twist at the end.
Fuck, the twist was great. And we watched Abigail.
Oh my gosh, dude. That fucking movie had me rolling.
Abigail.
Like, I had so much fun with that movie. I had so much energy at the end of that
Fucking
movie, like coming
lit.
out of the theater. It was so fucking cool and good.
It was lit. I'm going to interrupt us real quick.
Mhm.
They've woken up in the night again, Michael and Heather, to someone screaming in the distance, and they think it's Josh. It's
Yeah.
someone, it's howling in agony, screaming, "Help me." But yeah, back to Abigail real quick. Abigail was so fucking fun.
Mm-hmm.
So good, so gory. It took itself seriously where it needed to. Otherwise, like, the horror comedy blend was just right. And it was just a fucking
And it's
smash.
not silly comedy. It's like, it was so good. It's just so fresh.
Yeah, it was endearing too. There was really, really good moments. And it just, Catherine Newton was so fucking funny. And I'm glad that Melissa Barrera is getting positive attention at the moment, because I know that she's been receiving some negative flack lately from some fucking haters, and she doesn't deserve it. So everyone go see Abigail. A lot of fun. And what else have we watched? Oh, Field of Dreams. You got me to watch Field of Dreams.
Yes, I did.
What was the fucking that Exorcist ripoff that we watched on
the other door, or
Beyond the Door?
Beyond the Door. Yeah.
If you guys want a laugh,
That movie is so fucking good, dude.
holy fucking shit! It has Juliette Mills, who is motherfucking Pollyanna's sister, her older sister,
Badass movie.
who plays a woman named Jessica, who has 2 kids, and she lives in Italy or some shit with her annoying husband, and she gets pregnant and also possessed.
Yeah.
And it's literally just random scenes from The Exorcist, but done terribly.
Yeah, and a lot of people will say, that's trash, guys. Don't talk about that. But honestly, it's fucking trash. Well done. It was so funny. I liked every single part, because the parts are really scary. Like, some of them were fucking scarier
There were some
than
fun
like,
parts.
horror movies that I've watched.
I think you have to be high for that movie, though. It's one of those, if you need to fucking get stoned.
Yeah. I know I'm overselling it, but I'm super easy with
You
movies.
are,
But that
but-
movie, guys, it's if it's not for you, then it will be for you. Like, honestly.
Well fucking said.
Yeah.
I really like that. Yeah, go watch Beyond the Door, guys. Fucking trippy. The part where she's spinning on the bed. That's
Hilarious.
all I can fucking say. I have never seen you laugh so hard.
Yeah, hilarious.
You were fucking, like, rolled over.
And this wasn't me like, oh, hi, like annoying. Like,
No,
this
you
was
were high.
me watching the movie and being like, just having fun with it.
It was so funny. We'll get back to that in a second. Heather has woken up. Mike is still asleep, and she opens the tent to find a bundle of something. It's like sticks wrapped with a piece of flannel, Josh's flannel, and it has blood on it. I remember in the theater, nobody knew what this was. Nobody could make this out. Everyone was just so confused about this bundle of sticks and what's within it, because she throws it away, and then she comes back to it later and she opens it up. And do you know what's inside of it, Alex?
No.
Okay. So
It's a stick figure, right?
So when she opens it right now, I'm going to ask you to tell me what you think is inside of it, and I'm going to tell you what I think I know.
So it's the fuzzy stick figure that was hanging over the tent.
You'll see. Because when for a long time, I think it was just up until the last time we saw this the other night, where I saw that there was blood on it. I didn't even realize there was blood. This is what you were talking about with Mike losing it. Because Mike is at the point now where he's like shaking back and forth.
Yeah.
And he's like fucking mad. That's like the best word I
He
can
found
think
some
of.
cigarettes.
He found fucking cigarettes, girl. I've always loved this shot, but it always has bugged me that she needs a shot for everything. I know it's part of her character, because even she said
She wants to document every
it's
single thing.
all I fucking have left, okay, is what she had said. And so when she sets this shot up to go smoke with Mike and put her arm around him, I've always been like, why? Like what is that for you? Like, is that for your like own personal like
mental
whatever?
Down.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
So
Has
now-
my
now
mic
she's
been turned the
opening
wrong
the-
way the entire time?
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Now she's opening up the stick bundle,
Okay.
if you will.
If you will. Oh my god, my mic has been turned the wrong way this
Okay,
entire fucking
and
movie.
There's a little.
And see, she says it's full of blood.
It's a little satchel made of a piece of flannel, blood,
Her scream. Okay.
but we don't see it.
Oh, you wait.
Oh, it's Mike's eyeballs, tongues, his tongue and his eyeballs.
So it looks like a tongue and a finger, and maybe an eyeball. I never
They
thought
look
about
like
the
two
eyeball
eyeballs,
until
a
you said
tongue
it.
and a finger.
We're gonna see
Look
it
at
again.
2 eyeballs, a tongue.
It looks
and-
like teeth. I see teeth, a tongue, and a finger,
I don't see the finger. I
and
see
like
the
hair.
tongue.
I see hair too, long hair.
Oh yeah. Maybe it's a piece of scalp. I think it's a piece of scalp, like ripped off with bone.
It's teeth.
Oh yeah,
That was teeth.
No, it was brain.
You really think so?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like it's a piece of his head, like a scalp. It has hair.
Oh, fuck.
It has skin, and it has like brain matter.
And see, I just never understood why she just didn't tell Mike. I think that would have increased the urgency for them to fucking, okay, let's fucking get our heads together and get out of here. I know like everyone's kind of losing it.
I would have just walked in the water. I would have
Fucking
walked in
drowned
the fucking
yourself?
water. No, like walked along the water, like in the water, but along the water, not on the edge, in the fucking water to see where the river goes.
Because it has to take you somewhere,
Yeah,
right?
it has to go to a bridge. It has to go to a waterfall somewhere.
Wow, I never thought about that.
Like just stick with the water. Don't move away from it. Follow the yellow brick road.
Da-da. You've never
Look
seen
at Heather's face here.
I know, this is sad when her hair gets caught in the backpack.
Have you ever been like, or seen somebody stuck in that zone that she's in right now, where she just can't react? Like, Heather, what is happening? Heather, what happened? Mainly when somebody dies, this is how people react.
I was gonna say, girl, I've been in this exact position multiple times.
Yeah.
This is me this morning getting out of bed.
That's me going to bed last
My
night.
hair. Oh, Sarah.
That's the weight that I feel when I wake up in the morning, the bag that she's putting on her. It's like,
You wonder why I ask for so many leg rubs.
man.
But look, all of a sudden she looks so confident.
You're only
right here.
37. Wait till you get my age.
Girl, I'll be 38 in less than 2 months.
I'll be 43.
I know, baby. Happy almost
40
birthday.
motherfucking 3. I look great and I feel great, and that's all that matters.
What up? I'm trying to think of what else was out around this time. The Sixth Sense came out around this time. Also, The Haunting came out around this time.
I was going to say, we didn't finish talking about what we were watching. It got so intense the moment.
Oh, you're right. What else did we see?
We were watching Reunion from Hell Part 2.
Oh God! And I finally finished part 1 because we talked about this months ago,
Yeah.
like back when we first started the podcast.
Uh-huh.
And Hayden Newman is the star and director and writer of these films, and they're just so fucking fun, dude.
I just have such a good time with these films, like,
They're
honestly.
great. I thought part 2 was a lot better than part 1. They're both fun,
Uh-huh.
but part 2 was just it just had so many good fucking moments.
But it's funny because we went back to Part 1
We did.
after. We're like, we need to watch Part 1 again.
We did.
And yeah, sure enough.
And we had mentioned it before. We need to like get him on the show. I know we're not much of interview. Like we've never interviewed anybody before, but I think we should
We'll do well.
probably we should get him on here. I think he'd be a blast to talk
He's
to.
a third to call the corners.
Yeah, girl. And I gotta reach out to.
This is it, guys.
I gotta reach out to Homeboy too.
We're in the shot. Heather's giving us snot.
Nut?
Snot.
Oh,
Snot.
this is the I'm sorry monologue. God, can you imagine?
I'm surprised you don't know it.
You'd think I don't?
No, you don't know it.
I'm
Go.
so sorry for everything that has happened. Because in spite of what makes sense now, it was my fault. Because it was my project. And it's because of me.
Tears,
Oh, wait.
tears.
I insisted on everything. I insisted on going south. I insisted we're not lost. Oh, that was backwards. See, I
But
know
Mike
most
lost
of
the
it.
map, girl. Stop taking all the blame.
Girl, at this point, I think that she is definitely to
Yeah.
blame.
Heather. Yeah, Heather. Heather O'Rourke. Do you know Heather?
I know a couple Heathers, yeah.
Stay away from her.
Yeah, they're okay.
Listen, stay away from her.
And see, I never thought anything about this was funny.
Not at all. Who did?
People who made fun of it.
Oh, like SNLs and Matt
yeah,
TVs
like
and,
Scary
all those.
Movie really capitalized on
Yeah.
this.
They
And
probably made more money than she did.
oh, 100%. Oh, actually, I don't know. Let's look.
Who played that part?
Cherry O'Terry.
She did. She was doing Gail Weathers too, right?
Yeah.
That was that scene, right? You're
Gail
on my foot,
Hailstorm.
fat ass.
You're on my foot, fat shit.
Oh, fat shit. Yeah. And then that's when they run, right?
Yeah.
And then.
And then this happens.
And then.
It made $278 million.
Oh,
I
it's
think
about
so
the
did
same.
this.
Yeah.
Isn't that what we said?
Yeah. So you put in your
248.6. That made more.
Anything with a Blair Witch only makes about 200. How much did part 2 make?
Not that much.
Oh shit.
Let's see, but I
everything with the Blair Witch only makes 2 million.
45.2 million, but that had a $5 million budget. It made its money back. Yeah.
That made $40 million.
40 fucking million. It did fine.
Name a little town by the name of Burkittsville.
It did fine. I like the poster.
Yeah, the poster's dope. So that poster's for part 2.
This one is for part 2.
This one.
Yeah.
You like that
poster.
one?
I do. Yeah.
And then the one with her
I hate this poster,
monologue.
but I love the original poster for this one that we're going to use for when we promote it.
The top of the woods in the original poster is fucking badass. Yeah. If it was just that with like a stick figures like on the top of the trees, that would have been better than her face.
I think so too. Nothing against her face because we love Ray Hance. I really love the acting in this movie because I feel like it's real.
I don't think it's acting. This is real.
Exactly.
Like,
so
this is
I
real,
just want
raw
to be
emotion.
clear that there are many reviews out there and so many people who have like really bashed on some of the acting in this movie. But if you look at this as, like I said earlier, like the last moments of someone's life, like if you put yourself in that place and like really kind of go there as a moviegoer, like this movie is quite frightening, I think. And we're at the part when they get to Rustin Parr's house for the first time. Mm-hmm. And this is when things like really kick into full gear. Like, and if you're not scared yet, I question your sanity.
I mean, the fear alone of what they've already been through, and then to approach the house at nighttime with this fucking night vision cameras that are not giving you anything but the fucking black and white.
Yeah.
No.
And have you ever been in an abandoned house?
Yes,
like
I have. I used to do that shit all the time.
And that's actually really scary.
And I'm sure some shit got attached, but I used to do that shit all the time.
I wouldn't doubt it, dude. One time, Ryan, Caleb, and I think we were with Ryan's cousins, had gone into a house in the middle of fucking nowhere, like much like this. Mm-hmm. And we went up into an attic, Caleb and I, and a mirror fell down on us, like out of nowhere, and scared the fucking hell out of us. And ever since then, I have basically been possessed by the devil.
There it is. You must go back to the house, child.
Yeah. So, guys, Rustin Parr's house is like a 2-story, maybe 3-story with the attic, and then it has a basement, and it's very, very fucking scary. This house is scary. And in Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2, it's the remains of the house, like the chimney, and then like the brick surrounding. And I think that's the same for Blair Witch 2016 as well, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Oh, no. In Blair Witch 2016, it's the same house. Of course. And in Blair Witch 2016, when they go in the house, they keep going into doors and they're in like different rooms. So that's when they do go into a portal of sorts, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, I just spoiled Blair Witch. But I assume if you've seen, if you're listening to this, you've probably seen those movies. Can you imagine being in this fucking house?
No, not at all, dude.
It's so scary. And like Heather screams. Oh,
like I would have just camped out till the morning and been like, let's just see that shit in the morning.
This is a fun fact.
No way I'm going in there.
So Heather's screams in the background throughout the rest of this scene were used in the movie Tar with Cate Blanchett. Cate Blanchett is running in the woods and she hears a woman getting murdered apparently, and they used Heather's screams. And Heather took them to court to get money back for that because they didn't ask for her permission, or excuse me, Ray Hance.
Look at all those little hands.
And I'm going to show you the scene after because it's fucking intense. Like how, like if I would have saw that movie, because I only saw the clip, I 100% would have been like, oh my God, that's from the Blair Witch Project. And the handprints on the wall.
Stairs.
Look at the handprints and the symbols and stuff. Oh my God. Mike is entering the basement. Keep in mind, this is where these children were apparently killed.
Yeah, it's an ugly ass basement.
And Mike is down.
Yeah. See, so he's dead.
No, not yet. He's just been hit because in a moment.
But is that just the possessed, like the possessed body now, just standing there?
I don't know. This is where I always got confused though, because you have the CP camera or whatever it's called, and the sound is so far away, and I never got that.
I never understood this scene. It always felt like she was crawling in through the fucking crawl space.
Yeah. No, she's down.
Yeah.
She's in the basement. She sees Mike standing in the corner,
And then she
Bam.
gets knocked out.
and now she's down.
Camera's down. So to me, I feel like that was just Mike's possessed body standing there.
And see, I think that he was just knocked down and then put in the corner.
Possessed,
And then,
obviously, right?
well, I mean, maybe not. I have no idea.
Well, he's not going to voluntarily
I
just
have
stand
no
there.
fucking idea. Edited by both of them as well. Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez edited this. There was over 80 hours of footage shot,
Yeah.
by the way. That's fucking insane. Ooh, it's creepy, right?
Mhm.
Like, it's a fucking creepy ass movie. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
leaves you with that feeling after watching it. Is like,
Yeah, like I said, like,
I need to go to church.
You're watching something that just you don't feel like it's appropriate to be watching, and I feel like kind of like dirty and stuff.
It's a snuff
afterward.
film.
It is very snuffy.
It's a snuff film.
It's very snuffy.
I need to go in the shower now and crawl, like just cry.
Yeah. That's the Blair Witch Project, guys. Thanks for watching it with us. I hope that you enjoyed our rambling throughout. On my Gory Gator, I recommend this movie. I think it's a classic. It still holds up. We've watched it twice now, including this moment, this last hour and 20 minutes, and the last few days. And this was the first couple of times I've watched it, probably in 10 years. I haven't watched it in a very long time. And the other day when we were watching it, I remember just feeling kind of spooked out, like just feeling that genuine, dreadful, kind of spooky feeling. And I think this is a good time to bring this series back to life because I love the franchise, but also I want to stress that I do not support the way that these actors are being treated or have been treated over the last 25 years, and they are due their upcoming. So give it to them. Give it to them. Give it to them. They deserve it. And yeah. What do you think, Alex?
Give her money, bitch.
Yeah, give them all their money.
Yeah. No, I like this movie. Just as you said it well. Well, I would recommend it, and I like it.
Where'd you go?
Where'd I go? I don't know. I'm in the woods now. No, you know what? I have that feeling right now. Like, I feel so bad that I fucking just watch people die, and that I'm like watching it like a movie.
It's got that effect,
So
right?
I'm actually feeling that feeling right now, like that fucking somber, like, fuck, dude, like,
Yeah.
that could have been like somebody I know, like that feeling. It honestly just did that to me. That's why I'm like, you're like, where'd you go? I'm like,
Yeah, I look
I'm in
over
the
and
woods,
Alex
man.
is gone.
I'm looking for the Blair Witch.
Fucking funny.
What do you know?
Oh, okay, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. We will be back next week with The Strangers, Pray at Night, to finish up Salty Sequel Month. And,
Stay alive in the
yeah.
woods.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah.
How to stay alive in the woods.
Copyright 1984, baby. We should find that book. I used to have the fucking album. I had it on CD, and the CD had a pulled-out poster.
Dope.
Ooh. All right, guys. Stay gory.
Stay gay.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.